Welcome to Storytimer at Large. Debra and Frances Annette Cole. Debra Cole was born to Susan and Jerry Cole, March 29, 1969. That's her on the left side. When 12-year-old Debra Cole disappeared from her Lebanon, Indiana home in 1981, she took nothing with her. She was last seen around 11 a.m. with her mother's boyfriend, Omer Raymond Steve Bebout. Police considered her a runaway. Her family insisted that she would not leave without taking clothes, money, and toiletries. She wouldn't leave without saying goodbye. She was only 12. She wouldn't run away. Since her disappearance on August 29, 1981, there were no calls, no letters, and no sightings of Debra Cole. Her mother, Susan Cole, coped the best she could with this terrible situation. But she had to work. She had to keep going. She had to support herself and her children. Her husband, Jerry, had died in an Arizona auto accident in 1969. He had been a truck driver. Susan Cole's boyfriend, Omer Steve Bebout, helped her by watching her other children while she worked. He had moved to Lebanon from Monticello, Indiana in 1979. The family got by despite their overwhelming grief and trauma. Lebanon, Indiana is about a 30-minute drive north of Indianapolis. It's a small town surrounded by fields and farms. Frances Annette Cole, she's on the right, was Debra Jean's older sister. She was born on January 14, 1967. On Tuesday, October 4th, 1983, she also disappeared. Her mother reported her missing on October 5th after calling everyone she knew and searching on her own. But 16-year-old Frances would not remain missing for long. Her body was found in a ditch on Old Highway 52, just north of Sugar Creek, about 7 miles north of Lebanon, on October 11, 1983. She had been sexually assaulted and shot in the back and neck with a shotgun at very close range. That area, if you go to the blog post, I'll put the link in the comments section of the video. You'll be able to see photos and maps. That area where Frances Annette Cole's body was found is very close to Thorntown, Indiana. And that'll become important in a little bit here. Susan Cole's boyfriend, Omer Bebout, passed away from a heart attack in 1989. According to his death certificate, he was sleeping on a sofa in a downstairs room of 608 West Main Street in Lebanon, Indiana. He was 49 years old. In 1999, investigators would test Frances Annette Cole's rape kit. Her rapist and murderer would turn out to be none other than Omer Steve Bebout. He had long been a suspect, but the technology to separate the intermingled DNA of the suspect and the victim did not exist until 1999. Thank goodness investigators did not give up. Was Omer also responsible for the disappearance of 12-year-old Debra Cole? It appears that he may be. Debra Cole remains missing to this day. I would look in the wooded areas along Old Highway 52 north of Lebanon on the way to Thorntown. Since Frances Annette Cole's body was found in a ditch along that way up north toward Thorntown, I'm thinking maybe that there might be a pattern. He might have felt like going north was a way, that was the direction to go to distance yourself from a crime, to leave a body and distance yourself from this crime. So I wonder if Debra could possibly be somewhere between Lebanon and Thorntown in the woods, perhaps. I think investigators should also consider Omer Steve Bebout in the 1986 disappearance of 6-year-old Shannon Sherrill of Thorntown, Indiana. She disappeared on Sunday, October 5th, 1986, from her neighborhood. She and other children who lived in the trailer park there had been playing outside when Shannon seemingly vanished. Shannon Sherrill is still missing. Omer Raymond Steve Bebout grew up in Pekin, Illinois. Pekin is south of Peoria on the banks of the Illinois River. What did Omer Steve Bebout do for a living? Before 1979, when he lived in Monticello, he worked for Bassett Rotary Tool and for True Flight Aero. So I'm imagining factory work, machine type work, tool, machinery, that kind of thing. Where did he work when he was in Lebanon? That I haven't found. Did he have friends? Did he hunt or fish? Where did he go on his time off? He may have disposed of or buried Debra Cole and possibly also Shannon Sherrill there, wherever that place might be. When he died in 1989, his obituary did not mention Susan Cole or any of her children. That indicates to me that the two were not together when he died. Frances Annette Cole is buried at Lincoln Memory Gardens in Whitestown, Indiana. That's near Lebanon, Indiana. If you hike, swim, look for mushrooms or cool rocks, hunt or fish around the Lebanon or Thorntown area, keep your eyes open for signs of Debra Cole and Shannon Sherrill. Rest in peace, Frances Annette Cole. I'll also post a link to, if you do have any information about either of these cases, I'll post a link for reporting information in the comments section. Another thing that investigators should look at is where he was living when he passed away. That might be a good place to look. 608 West Main Street, Lebanon, Indiana. For Shannon Sherrill, at least. I think if I was an investigator, maybe taking ground penetrating radar over the yard of that location might be a good idea. And maybe even taking a look at the basement, or if there's part of it that's not a basement, maybe a crawl space. That might be a good idea. Rest in peace, Debra Frances Annette Cole, and Shannon Sherrill. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for subscribing. I think that we can possibly, by sharing the videos enough, spreading them around, getting them out there, we might be able to make a difference in some of these cases. Yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think Shannon Sherrill could be a victim of Omer Bebout? I mean, it's possible. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a good day. And let's keep our fingers crossed that maybe some of these cases can be solved and some of these missing people can be found.